Hello, hello. Hello, and welcome to Therapeutic Thursdays, hosted by the Center for Spirituality, Dialogue, and Service here at Northeastern. My name is Natalie, and I am a fellow with the center and a mindfulness fellow, and also professor on campus. And I'm here every Thursday at 4 o'clock. When I say here, I am somewhere on campus for this short meditation practice. And that is kind of part of the intention. I am in between classes, just like so many of you, in a busy day. And I am trying to find a space and make time to meditate. And I invite you every Thursday at 4 o'clock to join me in the meditation. So I am reclaiming my time to take care of myself, and I hope that you do the same. And I'm also reclaiming space. I am in a random conference room somewhere on campus, occupying space for meditation. So today I would like to suggest that we take a mindful pause. And I want to say a few things about that in a minute. But for now, let's just take a moment to settle in and get comfortable. So settling in and getting comfortable can mean different things depending on where you are right now. I brought another blanket from home to get a sense of comfort. That is not a requirement though. So a comfortable position can mean to find comfort in the seat that you're in right now, perhaps. So I'm in an office chair and I can find a comfortable position and posture in that chair. Perhaps settling in and getting comfortable for you means to stand. And standing on your 2 feet might feel good right now. And if it is available to you, you could also lie down and get comfortable in that way. So we begin our mindfulness meditation always with finding that comfortable position. And so I want to give you a moment to establish that for yourself and to make that choice. So get into your position. Once you have established your comfortable seat or standing or lying down, we can begin quieting our bodies and our minds. It might feel good to close your eyes. I often enjoy that sensation. Or lower your gaze, or just sort of soften your gaze. There are different ways for us to direct our attention toward this quietening of our bodies. One way would be to identify particular points in your body, anchor points that you can sort of return to in your meditation practice. So this could be feeling your feet, the soles of your feet on the ground, whether you're sitting or standing. And you can adjust accordingly. It could also be noticing, feeling your hands resting on your legs and that kind of touch point that it creates. It would also be helpful to just sort of notice what it feels like, let's say, sitting in your chair and leaning against the chair and noticing what the chair has to offer for you and adjusting your seating to feel comfort, ease, perhaps joy. And once we've established that moment in a particular space, in mindfulness meditation, we really focus and begin focusing on our breath as a way to quietening our bodies and minds further. So focusing on the breath doesn't really require a particular instruction, right? So the breath is there. It is something to notice, something to trace, something to be aware of, something you can rely on and always return to. So simply take a moment to recognize your breath. Follow your inhale and your exhale, just gently and kindly. So as we begin with this finding of stillness, I wanted to just say a little bit about this notion of a mindful pause. So in a way, mindfulness meditation, the different practices we can explore and we have been exploring over the last weeks, is always an invitation to pause. However, today I thought, in considering the heightened urgency of the events of the last few days and week, might just be supportive to not follow instructions and to give this space to finding stillness, but also explore your own practice. This might be a moment to just check in with yourself. Just become aware of what this moment provides for you today, now. It might also be a moment to bring to mind the current events and perhaps find compassion you could extend, kindness and care, love and friendship. Perhaps this is a moment and a space that you would just like to fill with silence and a simple focus and attention onto the focus points that we introduced. So I want to honor these options for you and be as silent as I can before sharing a reading with you that I think really addresses and speaks to and captures some of the experiences that many of us have had over the last few days and week. So as you experience the silence or contemplate expressing compassion and care, you might find your wandering mind being very active. And that's okay. That is always part of our practice. Acknowledge the thoughts that you have. And perhaps there's a moment to recognize what they are, label them, and perhaps give a promise to return to these thoughts later, after you have taken care of yourself in this practice. So let me take a moment then to share a reading with you that came to me, and it's beautiful. And so I want to share the sentiments of this reading with you. Feel free to keep your eyes closed or your gaze lowered as I'm reading this, and just listen to the words. It is called What You Need to Be Warm by Neil Gaiman. A baked potato of a winter's night to wrap your hands around or burn your mouth. A blanket knitted by your mother's cunning fingers or your grandmother's. A smile, a touch, trust as you walk in from the snow or return to it, the tips of your ears pricked pink and frozen. The tink, tink, tink of iron radiators waking in an old house. To surface from dreams in a bed burrowed beneath blankets and comforters. The change of state from cold to warm is all that matters. And you think, just one more minute snuggled here before you face the chill, just one. Places we slept as children, they warm us in the memory. We travel to and inside from the outside to the orange flames of the fireplace or the wood burning in the stove. Breath eyes on the inside of windows to be scratched off with a fingernail, melted with a hold hand. Frost on the ground that stays in the shadows waiting for us. Wear a scarf, wear a coat, wear a sweater, wear socks, wear thick gloves. An infant as she sleeps between us, a tumble of dogs, a kindle of cats and kittens. Come inside, you're safe now. A kettle boiling at the stove. Your family or friends are there. They smile. Cocoa or chocolate, tea or coffee, soup or toddy, what you know you need. A heat exchange, they give it to you, you take the mug and start to thaw. While outside, for some of us, the journey began as we walked away from our grandparents' houses, away from the places we knew as children, changes of state and state and state, to stumble across a stony desert or to brave the deep waters, while food and friends, home, a bed, even a blanket become just memories. Sometimes it only takes a stranger in a dark place to hold out a badly knitted scarf, to offer a kind word, to say, we have the right to be here, to make us warm in the coldest season. You have the right to be here. So with that beautiful reading, I think capturing perhaps some of the sentiments, observations, experiences of the last days and week, let's continue to take a moment to just sort of be here, nurture some silence, nurture what is here with us right now. No, just also be reminded that taking a few moments of time to slow down, to take a pause, to check in on your body, on your breath, to pause on your mind, which is difficult to do. It is always available to you. I've been told that you never have the time to meditate. You have to take it. So let's make sure we do that. Take just a few moments of our day just for ourselves. So for the remaining moment, and this is a practice for about 15 to 20 minutes, you can come and go whenever you like, of course. But for those remaining moments, let's begin returning to the comfortable seat, or the standing or the lying, just the way we started. It's a way to recognize and acknowledge the kind of choice we made here, right? So we decided to sit comfortably as a way to settle. And so ending on how we began, I think it is just as comforting and supportive. And in a moment, I will ask you, invite you to open your eyes again if you had them closed. And maybe, as a way to transition, now is a good time to stretch a little, move around a little. It might feel really good, especially if you've been sitting or standing still. And so I would like to thank you for joining me again, this time for a mindful pause, and again, considering the recent events of the recent days and week. I wish you all health, safety, happiness, and I hope to see you next week. Take good care of yourself.